Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. Well, this one I have for you is about a couple, about two people, male, female, a young couple, Nation Wood, the man, 25 years old, Samantha MG, 22 years old. Both of them were recent college graduates. Nation Wood had graduated a few years earlier than Samantha MG. They had a relationship. Some of the caveats of this story have to do with possible domestic violence allegations, young people making adult choices which lead to adult consequences. There's an issue about this technique called dry firing of a person's gun or weapon, meaning pulling the trigger or firing your gun when you know that there are knowingly known that there's no bullets in the gun. Also, this Nation Wood kid, our young man, worked as a security advisor or worked in security during the Biden administration, the Biden-Kamala Harris administration. So he's been in security. He knows about weaponry. And unfortunately, he was an ex-White House staff member on the security team. This ex-White House staff member, Nation Wood, 25, is accused of fatally shooting his girlfriend, and he faces involuntary manslaughter charges in San Francisco. So let's get into this story, and it's very peculiar and interesting, and there's a lot of legalities to this situation. And you also have to wonder, was alcohol or drugs involved in it? We're talking about young people. I'm not saying that those allegations are true, but that's a possibility. How could the boyfriend allegedly is dry firing his weapon in their apartment, and a bullet goes off, a round goes off, goes through the wall and hits his girlfriend while she's in the shower and kills her? So there's more to this story. There's more there's more to this story that meets the eye, and what's in the dark will always come out in the light. So here's the incident. On the night of March 24th, former Biden White House security staffer, Nation Wood, 25 years old, allegedly fired a gun through the wall of his San Francisco apartment, fatally striking his girlfriend, Samantha MG, 22 years old, while she was in the shower. Nation Wood told police he was dry firing his weapon, a common practice of pulling the trigger on what he believed was an unloaded firearm to simulate shooting when actually a live round was discharged. The bullet pierced the wall and struck Samantha MG while she was in the bathroom. So this San Francisco man is charged with involuntary manslaughter after authorities said that he fatally shot his girlfriend. As I said, Nation Wood's 25 years old. He was arrested and charged with the following shooting, which occurred on March 24th in their apartment. The San Francisco Police Department said it responded to the shooting shortly before 11 p.m. local time that evening. Upon arrival, officers located an adult female victim suffering from a gunshot wound and rendered aid, the police department said. Paramedics arrived on scene to perform life-saving measures and transported the victim to a local hospital for her life-threatening injuries. Despite the life-saving efforts of first responders and medical staff, the victim was declared deceased at the hospital. The woman was identified, as I said, as 22-year-old Samantha MG, according to the reports from KTVU, the San Francisco Chronicle, in Mission Local. And just think, as this accident occurred on March 24th, you have to remember this is devastating to both families. And we know, especially to Samantha MG's family, she's at the beginning of her life, just graduated from college with an interior design degree, I think from San Francisco State University. Parents proud, recently went to a graduation. They're proud of their daughter. She's involved with this guy who allegedly they didn't care for, the parents and family members, and she ends up dead. This is unfortunate for Nation Wood's family. 25 years old, in the beginning of his life. Sure, his parents are proud of him that he was working in the Biden administration doing security. There's even photos with him and a group of other security people with Vice President Kamala Harris at the time. I'm sure his parents are very proud. So this has to be disappointing, disruptive, and disheartening to both the Wood family and the MG family. So on Nation Wood, on LinkedIn's profile, described himself as an independent pre-event site security advisor. So you keep hearing in this story that he's done security. So he should know about how to handle weapons, you would think, at the highest level, especially if he's working in the Biden administration. That was the president of the United States. So you got to have the highest security clearance, and you should be able to be a somewhat of an expert in handling weapons. Nation Wood, as I said, was charged with involuntary manslaughter. His bail was set at $300,000. Should he post bail, he must submit to electronic monitoring and cannot leave California without court approval. Very important, because he was set, before this incident took place, he was set to join the National Guard. So what does Samantha MG's family and her father in particular have to say about this relationship? So the case took a dark turn when Samantha MG's family pushed back on Nation Wood's claim of an accident. Her father, Bill Phipps, told the New York Post that the couple's relationship was tumultuous and occasionally abusive. This is her father. And questioned whether the shooting was truly an accident, saying their relationship was not good and he was an abusive boyfriend. Think about it. Parents' intuition, family's intuition, many times they're spot on when their children or their relatives are bringing somebody into the fold of their family. And if they don't get good vibes, especially parents and grandparents, sometimes we have to pay attention to that. Some people call that intuition or your third eye, your chakra. But the parents and family and friends did not like Nation Wood. All of Samantha MG's friends were reportedly urging her to break up with Nation Wood. And she had moved out of their shared apartment for a period of time before returning back and living again with Nation Wood. So they lived together. Separated. She moved back in. Wood's defense attorney, Paula Canny, said that Nation Wood had been sober for 16 months at the time of the alleged shooting. So if the defense attorney had to come out and speak on his extracurricular behavior, whether it's alcohol or opioid abuse, in this particular case, the lawyer talked about him being sober for 16 months. We know young kids in college, they go through this period of drinking or trying to navigate their way through their 18 to 22, 23-year-old life. I don't know if drinking was a problem, but for his attorney to come out and say that he was sober for 16 months, as if to say he was not inebriated, he was not hungover, alcohol didn't play a part. Maybe alcohol did play a part. So what's next in this particular situation? Well, also I want to mention to you about the victim. A lot of times they get overshadowed in these stories. Samantha MG worked at an interior design company in San Francisco prior to her death, per her LinkedIn profile. having studied interior design and architecture at San Francisco State University, graduating just last year in 2025. So, what's next? The San Francisco DA, Brooke Jenkins, said the investigation remains ongoing and that prosecutors could potentially weigh additional charges, stating that if new admissible evidence comes to light, they must seek to file an amended complaint reflecting more or different charges. If convicted, Nation Wood faces up to 4 years in state prison, though legal experts note a firearm use enhancement in the state of California could extend that sentence even further. So that's the story. What do you think? Do you think he intentionally shot her? Was it an accident? How should this case be handled legally? Here again, these two young people, Nation Wood 25, Samantha MG 22, they had their entire lives in front of them, not behind them. And for both of those, for this particular adult situation or alleged accident to take place, this has changed the dynamics for both Nation Wood and Samantha MG. Of course, she died, but it also is going to change the course and the nature of their families, her family and his family forever. We have to be thought-provoking. Sometimes we need to take a step back, slow down a little bit. We sometimes move too fast, make poor choices and poor decisions that can lead to life-altering decisions. Tell me what you think. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth.